What is going on, Swoopers? A bit of a different video. I'm in Hobart, Tasmania at the moment. I'm here talking with Mark from the YES AFL team, YES Stadium group, just about Tasmania, about the stadium that's trying to get built, about the team itself. Mark, thanks for joining us, mate.
Thanks, Luke. Thanks for having me.
No worries. Look, tell me what the group is about, when it started, and where you sort of what are you aiming for?
Yeah, well, back in 2023 when the team was announced at North Hobart Oval, it was just such a relief.
Yeah.
That finally, after 30 years of campaigning, Tasmania's finally got our licence, and one of those conditions, based on the licence, was to have a roof stadium at Macquarie Point. So within about a week or so after that, there was the usual push from the anti-everything brigade to try and stop it. So, and they were saying that no one wants this in, the Greens Party. And it just dawned on me that I am sick to death of these minority small groups, which are the loudest groups, saying no one wants this, no one wants that. So I started up the Facebook group, which is AFL Team YES Stadium, based on that I want this. These minority groups don't speak for me.
Exactly right.
So we're just about to click over 23,000 members.
That's huge. And that, you said that was 2 years.
2 years. Yep.
So it's growing. So what's the main pushback? Because we know that words just sort of come out now that it's going to probably push it to about $1 billion. Roof stadium. It looks incredible. Like the concept art looks incredible, and you do need obviously a big roof stadium and something that it's going to attract players as well. Yeah.
Well, the biggest pushback is those that are against are saying we can't afford it. The money should go into health, education, housing. Now, there is record amounts going into health. It's only released this week that the government's going to be putting nearly $10 million a day into the over the next 4 years. And that's, I think it's, it was quoted as 14.5 billion.
Over 4 years.
This stadium is only 1/14 of this amount. So, and the frustrating thing is the no people are saying, oh, but it's not going to have a return and stuff like that. A lot of infrastructure projects themselves aren't going to have a return for them, but it's about what that project
brings to Tasmania.
Brings into Tasmania. It's based. Hobart City Council had done their own independent report of the economics of it, and they come out with during the construction phase alone, it was $143 million a year into the Hobart economy.
Wow!
So over 4 years of building that, that's near $600 million that's coming into this state. Now, if we don't build that, we lose our team. We lose all this money and the tourism.
And I think that's the biggest thing. So I know that there was that condition that you need to have a stadium built, roof stadium built. Is there a genuine fear that you could lose this license?
Very much.
Really? Even like you've got the name, you've got the mascot, everything's sort of happening, and they can still just pull the pin on you.
Now, the Greens Party and those others are against it, saying, oh, take it back to the AFL and renegotiate. Well, Andrew Dillon has come out many times and only just, I think it was on 3AW
it was like the other day, right?
He said, the licence is contingent on the stadium.
Wow.
And people don't realise, or I don't know whether they realise or just don't want to believe it. It was not the AFL bullying us. In 2019, the AFL Task Force reported back to the AFL and stated that to be successful financially, to attract players from Melbourne and interstate to come and want to play for Tasmania, we needed a roof stadium because, yes, we may not get heaps of rain during winter, but when we do, overnight, during winter, it is cold.
I could only imagine. It looks cold.
And I missed it a couple of years ago, but a prime example is Richmond and North Melbourne game at Bellerive.
Yep.
Apparently it was a rainy night and it was less than, about 6 degrees apparently.
Wow.
And
yeah.
I've had reports, from within my group for people where they said they were at that game. And one gentleman said that he left after about 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Because he was almost getting frostbite on his fingers. And he went
out.
down to the pub, 15-minute walk away to watch it on TV because it was that cold.
Yeah, so it's just wild to think that. Look, I know it comes in and it's all signed and stuff that you need to have this roof. It's just wild for me to think that it'll just all fall apart. It'll just absolutely all fall apart.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm scared, and 23,000 members of my Facebook group are quite quite scared as well that we could lose this. Although on a positive note of that, I had a conversation with a gentleman yesterday that had a conversation with one of the member legislative councillors that are voting on this stadium deal sometime in July.
Yep.
And this councillor, I won't say the person's name,
that's all right.
has confirmed 100% that they're behind the stadium.
Yep.
And they believe that, it will get over. And what I'm reading this morning and hearing is that, it's going to be close, but we'll get there.
So let's talk about that vote. So the vote happens in July. So what's the yay and nay? What do you sort of need to get it over the line?
From what I can understand, we need minimum of 2 independents.
Okay. Yep.
I believe that we've got the numbers, guaranteed 6.
Okay. Well,
possibly 7.
Jeez.
With the conversation I had yesterday. So there's one more independent that we need to get over the line because there's 15 members.
Okay. You need more than half. Is that how it works?
So seven of them actually vote because there's the president.
Yep.
He will only vote if it's sort of a dead set tie. It goes before the lower house, which will pass easily.
Okay. Yep.
David O'Byrne, which is a great ambassador for pushing the team as well. And he put a motion forward, I think it was Thursday, this was in the lower house, that the team and stadium are one combined asset.
Yes, yeah, exactly right.
There's not
can't have one without the other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that was passed 21-10 out of 35 lower house members.
Yep.
So the actual vote, I understand, will happen, that vote for lower house members will happen probably mid to late June.
Yep.
Then within a week or two, that'll go before the upper house members.
Yep.
I don't believe as soon as it gets there, they will vote there and then. They will discuss it, and maybe over a couple of weeks or something like that.
Yeah, okay.
There may even be some changes to the legislation. I don't know.
Yeah. Yep.
But by probably middle of July
is when we will
know. Yep.
So sitting here right now on the 31st of May, what is your confidence percentage out of 10 that you guys are going to get this stadium and the team will come through?
I would say about 90%.
Okay, cool.
I'm confident. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, but there's still just that little bit in your head, because I guess that's, like you said, the minority groups sort of speak a little bit louder.
Yeah.
And there's always that sort of thing in the back of your head. But it's sounding like we should be right for a Tassie team. But how excited is just Tassie just in general to have their own team finally?
The excitement is statewide. I 100% believe, we're in the majority of people want this stadium.
Yeah. Yep.
The excitement, unfortunately there is still that north-south rivalry. There's a lot of people up north saying it should be based in Launceston.
Yeah.
And they just don't have the infrastructure up there to be able to sustain a team.
Yep.
That would necessarily be like, say, move Geelong Stadium from Geelong out to Ballarat.
Yeah.
Hobart's the capital.
Yep. Closer to the airport.
Yeah, close.
I mean,
the airport's only 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
I mean, Launceston Airport's about 10 minutes out of the city centre as well. But you've got the hotels down here. You've got Salamanca Market. You've got so much going for it during the week. You know, in Launceston, you know, I lived there before I moved to Hobart for about 4 years.
Okay, yeah.
So I know a fair bit about it. If you want to go out on a Monday or Tuesday night, you've got a couple of pubs open.
Yeah.
With maybe a few people in there. Salamanca, you know,
Always popping.
Always popular even during the week. So,
yeah.
So you know, we've got so much going for it here, and yeah, the main reason that the stadium has to be at Macquarie Point, because that's another contentious issue. A lot of people are happy for a stadium, but want it elsewhere.
Yep.
So you know, you've got an influx of between 5,000 and 10,000 from interstate that come and watch their team play.
Yep.
And you want those people to be able to walk to the ground. Like, for example, Marvel, MCG, that's only 15, 20 minute walk.
Yeah.
But you know, you've got all your pubs, your clubs, cafes and all that. And you know, those people who are leaving the stadium overnight will go to Salamanca to visit these pubs.
Yeah.
And just the economic boom.
100%.
And the jobs as well. You know?
Exactly right.
You've got your little cafes that would probably close at say 5 o'clock.
Yep.
Or 6 o'clock of a night, could stay open.
Exactly. Yeah.
Later at night.
And just what it does with tourism Tasmania and all this sort of stuff. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's not only just a boost for the Hobart economy, but Tasmania in general, because most people would fly in, say probably Friday if it's a Saturday night a game or whatever, or Saturday morning, stay the night, but they may stay.
Exactly right. A bit longer.
3 or 4 days.
Exactly. You're not just going to come here for a little bit. Just like when you go interstate for anywhere, you stay for a couple of days. You're putting money into their economy.
Like, and one comment I heard on the radio the other day on a person said, where are they going to get all these extra flights from? The staff for the planes and the extra planes. Well, the same place. My answer to that is the same place as where they put the extra flights on from Melbourne to Adelaide, Melbourne to Brisbane, Melbourne to Sydney.
Exactly right.
And you only got to look at the Collingwood supporters, for example. There's 5,000 to 10,000 of them every game that follow their team around.
Exactly. Yeah.
Whether it's in Brisbane, Western Australia, and being a Carlton supporter.
Sorry, we'll edit that bit out. Yeah.
Just as another example for there, like the Blues brothers and girls. When they played Brisbane, I think it was last year.
Oh yeah.
There was
Heaps
about
of them flew up.
3,000 or 4,000 of them that flew up to Brisbane. So there was no issues with getting flights for that.
It's just people just trying to any sort of negativity they want to just sort of just jump on, innit?
Yeah. My advice is stay positive and we'll get there.
That's it. Mark, just before we let you go, where can we find this group if we want to sort of...
So jump on Facebook and YES AFL Team, YES Stadium. There is, if you want to join, there is some member questions. Please answer all the questions. As if you don't answer all the questions, then, unfortunately, we don't allow people into the group. But yeah,
done.
Thank you.
Go Devils?
Go Devils, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate that.